Hello everybody and welcome to another Ashley Forbes video. A little bit of a different scenery today. I'm at home just filming this video a little bit late, but at least I'm doing it. This is going to be my review of the CC6. I'm going to preview my last couple of weeks of training, and then I'm going to speak a little bit about my upcoming weeks of training, what I'm designing it for, what I want to get out of it, so on and so forth. I'm going to start off with the CC6. So for those people that don't know, the CC6 is a group of races which is based in sort of the Hampshire southern area of England. This one was at Badger Farm. Badger Farm is a little place near Winchester, very undulating. So the start was at 9:30. So this was on Sunday, they're just gone. So I am actually filming this a little bit late, but I'm getting it done anyway. I've had a few days rest now, so I'm gonna get it done. Sorry about the lighting, it's not great. So CC6 starts at 9:30. Most of them are generally about 5 miles long, and they're generally undulating and off-road, which I like, and they're free. Once you join a club, so you could join a club like Lord's Hill or Southampton or Hedgend, you can take part of them. Your club will help organise one race, and then you can participate in the other races, and they're all free all Sunday mornings. So it's CC6, 9:30, Sunday morning. I drive there, I get to Badger Farm for about 9. This is my preview of the race. Get there for about 9 so I can do a mile warm up and I do a mile cool down afterwards. Along with the 5 miles of the race, it's 7 miles. I've never been the biggest fan of Badger Farm, but I wasn't even a bigger fan of this one as it's changed a little bit more technical and a little bit more less places to overtake. But for me, I did my warm up, did my strides, then we start at 9:30. Unlike Popham on the day before, for me it was going to go off with the front ones and just see what my legs had, as I had done 13 miles the day before. So start off, and then as soon as I start off, it's going uphill, it's round, it's back downhill, and then it's going uphill again, and it's going through short narrow paths where you can hardly overtake. Quite a few paths where you could overtake as you go through the race, but for me, my legs were pretty shot from the start, so for me to actually do overtaking and to get a position that I felt good was not going to be the case today. So use it as a training run, use it for sort of a bit of speed, endurance, see how far I can keep going at a certain speed. So we get into it. For me, again, like I said, it was a lot of gates. There were a lot of gates that you had to open because there was a lot of sort of fields you run through, cows or horses, a lot of footpath, a lot of brideways where the horses can be on. I'll go through that little bit in a second, but there was numerous amounts of times where you'd be stuck behind 3 or 4 people. If you were not in front of someone by 10 metres or behind someone by about 10 metres, you were going to get stuck behind them on 3 or 4 occasions through the race, where you had to go through a brideway gate or you had to go through a big long gate that was locked. So for me, that was one of the downsides of it. The other major downside for me was that we did come across 2 horses on the race. No one's fault. These things happen sometimes, but yeah, there was 2 horses. I must have been about 15th or 20th about that time. Finished 35th. Not too bad when the one before was 30th, but sprinting down, it was downhill sprinting. You could see there was a group of about 5 or 6 of us together, and you could see the group in front had just sprinted down this, what would you say, a crossway. And it was quite bushy and tree sort of orientated, so you couldn't see much to the left or right, and then as soon as you pull up, boom, there's 2 horses, and one of the horses is starting to actually go a bit nuts. It was a big conjunction, so you could have gone round the horses at sprinting distance, but the lady had obviously just been done that by 10, 15 people, and she was getting a bit frustrated, so she was, slow down, can you just walk please, And obviously these races can be done anytime, you can run anytime. You got to take consideration for other people when you're doing these sort of things. CC6, you're using bridle pathways and footpaths that can be used by anyone. So yeah, we literally had to come to a standstill and then walk for a good 15-20 seconds, which doesn't sound too bad, but in a race, obviously, yeah, for me as well, I had doing 30 miles, my legs just gave up. As soon as I had to stop and walk then, and my mindset, it was, right on walking. It's not great, like, but you get past them and then you go off and you restart. I did hear good that some people behind did come in junction, but I think they turned around and went back down the brideway that they came from, so it didn't cause actually too many issues for too many runners on the course. But for me personally, for my run, it caused me a little bit of an issue. Very undulating course, very difficult, like technical course at some points of the course. So for me, it wasn't a great experience. I've never been the greatest fan of Badger Farm anyway because of the narrow pathways and the lack of overtaking, but ground was good. Marshals were absolutely lovely. Lots of cake afterwards, and generally a good race or a good run. 5 miles, like I said. I ended up coming 35th out of the men. I'm sure there was a good 3 or 4 women that beat me as well, but they don't count because it's all about position when you win the CC6. You're running for your team. It's a team sort of sport when you're running these sort of things. Same as the RR10s through the summer. You get CC6 in the winter, RR10s, and these all like in the southern group. But yeah, I came 35th. I'm aware that a few of our teammates came first. I think I was 7th or 8th in our team. So top 4 males score for a team, and that'd be your A team. Next 4 would be your B team. 3 for women, so on and so forth. But as being a previous champion, 2006, maybe 2015, a long time ago, 2017. Yeah, obviously 35. I feel like at my pace, at my best, I could do a lot better. But that's just the way it was. And I'd done 30 miles. I'd raced the park run. I'd run the park run and run popping the day before. So it was to be expected that my legs were going to be heavy. But going forward, hopefully I can keep getting the miles in, keep the foot steady, and then that'll go. So that, for me, was the CC6 review. Generally, a very good race. Good marshals. Could do a little bit more signage, making people aware that we're running on the courses, especially on crossed ways and bridle ways, but nothing can be perfect. It's a free event. You can't complain. Really enjoyed it. So I'll talk about my last week of training, and then I'll talk about my training upcoming. Obviously, I'm doing this to keep myself, what would you say, accountable. I'm keep doing all these films just to keep myself accountable, so I can look back on them and go, right, this is what I've done then, this is what I do then, and I'll look at my Instagram and stuff like that and see what I posted. So last week was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 5 miles each, around 45 minutes. So they got me to 20 miles, and then I did over about 22 miles through park run, pop 'em, and the CC6. So last week was about 40 miles. A general day would be gym in the morning, maybe try and run in the morning, and then gym in the evening. So hour gym, 45-minute run, and then another hour gym, because I have issues with my plantar fasciitis on my foot, that's what I'm told, and a few neck issues, but I'm slowly trying to get over them and talking to doctors and so on and so forth. So last week was about 40 to 45 miles with a lot of gym work to support it. This week is going to be a little bit building on from that, and going forward I'm going to try and slowly build up the work rate. So I did another hour in the gym this morning. I had Monday off, as I did quite a big weekend, so it'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That'll be the bulky sort of bit. Sort of mileage with a little bit of hills in. I don't do a lot of sessions, which I know for a lot of people is you should do it to build your speed endurance, your hills and stuff, but with my knees and my foot and other things that I need to do in my life, I find it difficult. So it'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It'll be around 15 minutes to an hour each day running. Try and include some hills, some sprints in there. But I'll be looking to do that sort of mileage. And I don't use a watch, so I go on the basis of about a 9-minute mile. So you go 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54. So if I get it around 55 minutes, I'm doing about 6 miles a day, which would be half decent for me. I did 50 minutes this morning. That's the way I want to stand it for this week. So 50 minutes for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I probably more than likely will do parkrun on Saturday with a mile before, a mile after at least, or a mile and a half, so I can use the 3.1 miles 5k as my speed work. I'll probably have a lot of miles in my legs through the week, so I won't actually go out and try my 100%, but I'll definitely use some effort. And then on Sunday, it'll either be rest or long run. I know that sounds weird. It should be a long run, but I always like to keep like a little bit like leeway for myself. So if I do feel like my foot's going or my neck and I do need to sort of rest, then I can do. I don't put too much on myself. If I have that bulk of 30 to 40 miles in the week, then I'm pretty happy to have 2 days off. But the plan is, look, the plan for January was 2 days off. The plan for as much as February is 1 day off. So trying to train 6 days a week for running and use my gym to complement it, as well as doing whatever I want to do in the gym. And then come February, we do 6 days a week. Come March, maybe double dip and do even more, bulking it up. Not even training for anything specifically, but just trying to keep myself fit, trying to keep myself accountable. When I don't, I start to go off the rail, drink, smoke, so on and forth. I still smoke vapes, which is very, very bad, I know. And I like a few drinks here and there on the weekend, but I can't say no when one slips down my throat, it goes down to another and another. So it's trying to keep off the drink, trying to keep the smoking down to a minimal as much as possible, and then trying to keep myself accountable. If I do those three things, then slowly my progressive thing, the main thing that I struggle with is my foot. I've always struggled with my foot for about 4 or 5 years now. But hopefully the strength and building in the gym will do that. So that's a little bit about of what I've done the previous weeks and what I'm going to do previous weeks after that. Looking race-wise for the next 3 or 4 months, it'll be do the next CC6 and then do the RR10s. I do love a good old RR10. RR10's the same as the sort of CC6, but it's on a Wednesday evening at about 7:30. So a lot more accessible for me, because I like in the evenings at 7:30 for a race. Again, they're free, run by clubs in the south of England, off-road, a load of fun for me personally. And that's sort of the main races I'll be targeting. I may do Eastleigh 10K, but I'm not particularly targeting anything. If I get my foot sorted and I have 2 or 3 weeks of no pain, then I'll definitely be targeting some races. But for now, that's going to be it for this video. Any questions, feel free. Like the video, all that good stuff. And I'll see you on the next one.